Hi everyone, this is Angelica. How are you? This video is called Now is the Only Place That You Can Create From. And I just wanted to share this tip with you because it's a really important thing to understand. If you are trying to bring about any changes in your life, whether those be health related, whether those be like material related, whatever they are, relationship related, you can only create those things in which you are wanting from this now moment. Now, that may sound like it's easy to do, but the reason that people are not creating what it is they truly want is because they're living in their past or in anticipation of something coming to them in the future. So to really match up with the frequency of what you are wanting or what you are wanting to bring into your life requires for you to just become that now. Okay? When we're in the past, we're oftentimes going over things that are very emotionally disturbing. And when we're in the future, we're in fact telling ourselves that we don't have what we want now. And so we are never having what we want, which is everything that we want is here right now. And that may be hard to understand. And when I first heard that concept a while ago, I was like, no, I really don't have what I want right now. So that's not making sense to me. And so my brain just kept trying to move forward into the future, keep trying to be what I wanted to be. Now I realize and recognize that I've always been that person, and I've just been, in a sense, not opening up to who I am, and that has taken some time. But all the things that I think I want in the future have already happened right now, and so I'm trying to explain this in a way that makes sense. Time doesn't really exist. Everything has happened in the past in a linear, third-dimensional type of way. And everything that you can think of or conceive of to happen in the future has already happened as well. There's lots of different timelines. There's lots of stuff going on with all of that. And this video is not about that. So I won't go into all of it. But what I want to mention is from this place of pure consciousness and pure potentiality, you can create anything you are wanting to create in your life. If you can be in the stillness of your being and you can shine forth your true essence, then everything will come around. You, in a sense, when you're coming from that place, you, in a sense, don't want anything, but yet everything comes around to you, if that makes sense. Because you let go of the desire to make things happen in a certain way because you have everything you already need. And when you have everything you already need, everything just kind of falls into your experience so that you can enjoy it, so you can be happy, so you can be filled with gratitude and joy and peace. So if you recognize yourself not being in the now, not experiencing fully the now moment, then that means that you can never create anything. And this brings up a lot in me, because this is was one of my biggest lessons and still continues to be. I mean, I've gotten much better with it, but it has been quite a struggle on my spiritual path for me to stay in the moment, in my body, not thinking of the future, the past, or in fact, going outside of myself in any way, just being here right now and being very present with everything that I'm encountering. I've told you guys in a previous video that I used to not be in my body at all. In fact, I had split off myself from myself so that I didn't have to feel the pain of the world, which in a sense was my own pain in my own body. And it was a really good friend of mine who said that she was very spiritual. She was very spiritual. But I was like, oh, yay, la, 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 la. I've always been real positive and happy and flying all around. But I was telling her, oh, and this and that and this and that. She's like, you know what? I don't know why, but I'm channeling in this information for you right now that if you don't come into your body and really live in this moment now, nothing that you're talking about, all of these dreams, all of these wonderful magical visions that you have are ever going to manifest. Now, to someone who lives more in the now, this may have just been like, oh, that's interesting, you know, cool, okay, I'll try to live in the now. But for me, it was quite devastating because it was at that moment that I felt myself come into my body, and I was completely freaked out, to say the least. And then she didn't end up staying around because she already could tell when that happened that I broke down. I completely broke down. I think I cried for a few days straight and just couldn't handle the fact that I had to be in my body. And it was like I didn't even have a choice. It's like when she said it, it just happened. Anyway, oh, and I can remember even before that, a few years prior to that, when that happened in Maui. And the energy set up there in Maui that things like this happen, very spiritual things. But it was, let's see, probably a few years before that, when I first read The Power of Now, and I started reading that book, and I just started crying and crying and crying because what that meant to me, I didn't even really know why I was crying so much from that book. Because, I mean, it's written in a very logical way. There's nothing emotional about it. But what it meant to me is that my whole world, as I knew it, was not real. I knew I had to come into my body, and I still fought that. I fought that. So it took me a few more years until I got the message again. And I guess I was ready at that point to come into my body. And now I can read The Power Now, and I'm like, wow, yeah, because I'm in the now. I'm in my body. I can be here. I can talk to people. I can talk to people. It's one thing to talk to people, but it's one thing to really be with a person. It's another thing to, you know, really be involved in your work and what you're doing in a way that really makes you feel present. And that's what being in the now is. Not running from it, not running from the pain, not running from anything that comes up. And in a sense, this is the only place that you truly can do anything from. And the only place that anything can ever enter your field or your conscious awareness. So you are consciousness and you are this space. So I think that we're like 99% space, pure space. This is just what we are. So things aren't as solid as they really seem. And when things are not that solid and not as set as they appear to be, and when you're coming from the now, things can kind of move around and you have access to, you know, shifting things. But if you're living in the future, in the past, you can't do anything about that. You can only handle what's going on right now and be and embody that which you already know you are. And if things get heavy, if things feel tough, if things get emotional, feel it. Just feel it and just be it. And it will pass. It will come up and you will feel it. And if you say, no, I don't want to feel this, you go back to do past things that aren't healthy for you, or you fly into the future about what you're wishing will happen, then you're not feeling it. You're not being in the now. And as long as you run from that, you can't access those things you're wanting. You'll never access any of those things you're wanting unless you're coming from true, authentic nowness. If that means anything, it's not a word, but we'll make that word up. Yeah, so I came into my body. I came into my actual body in 2008. I think it may have been either February or March of 2008. And it was so devastating that I had to basically learn how to walk again. I had to, every step that I would take, I would be like, I'm walking. It was like someone who had been like in a bad accident and was like trying to repair their body. That's how hard it was for me to be in my body. Not everyone has that happen, but for me, it was a huge lesson in being in the now. And even in my daily life now, what I'll do is I'll run around and I'll be really busy and I'll shut off what I'm feeling, not knowingly, but by accident, and not present with myself or with anyone else. I'm just rushing through my tasks. And that is not a good place to be because you're not fully experiencing the now. So slow down. The things you want to create can all be created here. They can be created in this now moment, and that's the only moment that they can be created. One thing at a time is very simple. Make sure you're feeling okay inside of your own body. You're feeling good, and bring in that and what you're trying to bring in. One thing at a time. That's the only way it's done. So I'm surprised we ever get anything done from not living in the now enough. I'm shocked that I ever got anything done, but it was through sheer force that I did. But now you can draw things into you through your energy because your energy is so full and so powerful in the now moment. And if it's centered and balanced, then if you're living in the now, you are centered and balanced. Even if you're emotional, even if you're feeling sad, even if you're, whatever you're feeling or experiencing, if you're feeling it to the deepest level in the now moment, you're very powerful. And so whatever it is, it's good if you're living in the now. Because those things will start to dissipate. Those things will fall away. Those really intense feelings of being in the now will fall away. And then you have a complete blank slate every single moment to create anything in your life that you want to create. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.